Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies.
Finally, another LSU episode is back. Thank y'all, LSU fans that's been watching the channel, man. Being patient with me. We're back talking about LSU FSU, a top 10 matchup in the country, a rematch from the season opener last year. LSU looks to start off the season with a win, and FSU is going to be a tough opponent. Beat us last year in the Superdome. Got to get a win this year. Start off the season well. Obviously, this team's going to have big expectations, big goals after SEC championship appearance in Brian Kelly's first season. They're going to be looking for much more this year. And we'll just start talking about this offense, man. Offense last year, up and down. Started the year off slow, but that's kind of expected, man. You started some freshmen out there on the offensive line, that tight end. You got a new transfer quarterback in Jaden Daniels that came in. A whole new offensive staff. Guys really didn't get to play with each other. So the offense started off really, really slow last year. Kind of picked up towards the end. So the offense definitely, I'll keep a good eye on the offense. I think the offense will be fine. I think that will be the strength of the team this year. But Jaden Daniels, he will be the guy I'm watching closely this season. He has to make that jump. He has to make that jump. Second year in the system, second year in BR, second year playing for the Tigers. He has to make that jump. Joe Burrow made a jump. I'm not expecting Daniels to go from, Burrow junior year to Burrow senior year, but I'm expecting him to make a huge leap this second season. He has to. The LSU wants any shot at a national title, college football playoff, or anything like that. Daniels is going to have to be a top 10 player in the country. It's just simple as that. You're going to go as far as your quarterback takes you in college football, in the NFL, just in football in general, man. Your quarterback play is going to have to be superb, so I'm definitely going to be watching him. Is he just going to, settle for the short things, not take shots to this talented receiver group we have? That was a big problem with him last year. He didn't take shots downfield. He's going to have to just let the ball go, man. If these guys get one-on-one matchups, you got to let the ball go. This is not Arizona State. This is LSU. We got real playmakers down here. This is wide receiver U. Throw the ball up to those guys. Let those guys make play. I'm definitely going to be looking at the development of Daniels. See how far he's come from the last season. I think he'll have a really, really good season. He's probably going to have a breakout season, in my opinion. Also, the running backs. It's going to be running back by committee this year. It's going to be a little different for LSU. It's not going to just be a main guy. It really doesn't even matter who starts, let's be honest. It's like 3 or 4 guys that's going to be out there at the running back position. Obviously, you got Josh Williams, you got Logan Diggs, you got Noah Kane. You got a couple freshmen back there. It's going to be a lot of guys running back by committee. Now, you can look at pros and cons of that. You can say the pros are, hey, no one's really going to get tired. You're going to get different type of backs, pass catchers, guys that are in between the tackles, more quicker guys, big, strong guys. You're going to get a lot of versatility out that backfield. But also, you can look at hey, maybe a guy hasn't separated himself, and maybe that will happen during the season. Maybe a guy step up to the plate, separate from those other running backs, and become running back one. But right now, I think it's going to be running back by committee, and I'm super, super pleased with that. That's no problem. And that receiver group. That receiver group is going to be really, really good this year, man. Obviously, you got Malik Neighbors, you got Brian Thomas, you got Karen Lacey, you got Aaron Anderson, Shelton Sampson, the freshman. It's going to be a really, really good room with those receivers. Aaron Anderson also going to be the punt return, kick returner. I think that's going to help in special teams, which I'll talk about a little later. But Malik Neighbors, man, can he solidify himself as wide receiver 2 in the nation? Now, I didn't say wide receiver 1 because let's just be honest. Marvin Harrison Jr., he's got that locked up. He's going to be a top 5 pick. He's going to be the first receiver off the board. But can Malik Neighbors make that jump? Can he make that jump to solidify himself as the second best receiver in the nation? He has all the talent. He has all the talent with a quarterback play, with an offensive play call, and help him, reach that. Because he has the first round talent in him. Don't know if he'll be a first round pick just because I can't predict the future. I'm not that good. But I think Malik Neighbors has to have a big season. But if Jaden Daniels have a big season, then obviously Malik Neighbors is probably going to have a big season as well. So I'm really, really looking forward to this receiver crew, man. I think this receiver crew is really, really good. Quarterback, you just have to give him a chance. You have to give him a chance. Obviously, I can mention Mason Taylor as well, the tight end. Up and down rookie year last year. First game, very, very bad against him, against FSU. So he has to redeem himself. The FSU game for him last year. True freshman, getting out there, deer in the headlights. It looked like it. Towards the end of the season, played great. Played great, obviously, at the game-winning 2-point conversion against Bama. Played well down the stretch. Was a good blocker. Now he's going to have to step into it, himself as another year in this belt. I'm expecting big things from him this season. And the offense in general, man, the offense has to be clicking. This offense has been together now for the most part. A lot of guys return. We're going to need this offense to click. The defense, have a couple question marks on the defense, but the offense needs to be the strong point of this team, at least to start off the season until the defense can catch up, in my opinion. So definitely looking forward to it. How could I forget about the offensive line? You got your new number 7, man. I guess number 7. Will Campbell, your starting left tackle. True freshman, started out there. You also have Emory Jones at the right tackle. Those two guys, I'm definitely going to be looking how they develop, man. How those two guys develop. They were true freshmen in the SEC playing against the big boys. 18 years old, 19 years old, playing against the big boys. No help out there on the edges. That is tough to do in the SEC. And they went through their struggles, as rightfully so. You're a freshman. You're playing the SEC. You're playing against 22-year-olds, 21-year-olds, guys that are about to be first-round picks, second-round picks. It's going to be tough. But that experience you can't take back. So I'm expecting this offensive line play to be really, really good this year. A lot of good guys on the offensive line, and I think we have depth this year, something that we lacked. One thing Brian Kelly did say when he got here, he wanted to build it from the trenches, man. From the trenches, you got to have good tight ends. You got to have a good offensive line. I think this is one of the best offensive lines we had in a minute at LSU. So excited to see what that offensive line does. Now, the defense. Defense is the biggest question mark for me. Biggest question mark. Obviously, we will be without Mason Smith the first game. Got suspended for autograph signing. Some nonsense with NIL going on. It's just dumb, but it is what it is. He's going to be suspended. You still have Wingo in that interior. He's really, really good. So the defense, man, question mark. Question marks at linebackers for me. Not linebackers, not named Harold Perkins, obviously. Question marks in the secondary. Will someone actually step up in the secondary, man? At linebacker, you got Omar Speight, you got Harold Perkins. I think those guys are going to be pretty good. But I do wonder how we're going to use Harold Perkins this year. I know he's going to play fully linebacker. I know he wants to be a stand-up linebacker. That's their role for him. But, man, I see so much Micah Parsons in him that it's almost like a tragedy if you just don't use him to rush the passer. Like, Micah Parsons could probably be the best middle linebacker in football right now. But he rushes the passer so well, it's like you can't really take that away from him. So I'm definitely going to be interested in how we're going to use Harold Perkins this year. Is he going to just be a stand-up linebacker all 3 downs, or is he going to put his hand in the dirt sometimes and come off the edge? I would like to see a little bit of both, maybe 80%, at linebacker, 20% rushing the passer. We'll see. Obviously, he's really, really good at the QB spy. So to see how the LSU uses him will be very, very interesting, man. He's super, super talented. They can use him in a multitude of ways. So it's a good problem to have. But definitely hope he rushed the passer this year. He's just really, really good at it, man. And to take that away from him, I think that just will hurt the defense. So we'll be definitely tuning into that to see how he looks out there. And just his development, man. This guy is top 10 potential. Top 10 potential. Him, I think, and Will Campbell probably like the biggest potential on LSU's roster right now to go, high in the draft. Both of those guys are sophomores and have another year, but those guys are really, really good, man. That's going to be a really, really, that sophomore class that LSU has is going to be really, really good. Can't wait to see how Harold Perkins look. I know he's going to be crazy. Last year, he didn't really get to play to start the season. LSU really didn't know what they had. I don't know how. Very, very highly touted recruit. And if you see him, maybe he pops off your screen. LSU didn't know what to do with him, man. They thought they were good in the middle. Didn't really, want to use them off the edge. And they finally started playing them. Even Lane Kiffin said, once they started playing number 40, we had no chance. I don't know why they were not playing them. Once LSU figured that out, they're like, oh shit, this guy's really, really good. He has to be on the field. I don't care if he's playing cornerback, safety, linebacker, center. Put Harold Perkins on the field. He's going to make plays for you. And that's just what you got to do. Now the secondary. I'm super, super scared. I'm just going to be honest. You got Cy Alexander, Deuce Chestnut. You got Major Burns back there, Greg Brooks, Sage Ryan. It's some guys. It's some talent. But will they produce? Will they be the guys on the field? And I just don't know. I can't predict it either way. I'm not at practices. I don't know what's going on. All I can do is watch the game, see what happens, and we'll go from there. I hope they do well. But the secondary is the biggest, by far, the biggest question mark for me. By far, out of all the position groups, all the players, the secondary, going to be a big, big question mark. And hopefully FSU challenges them. I want to see what they got out the gate. I want to see what this team has out the gate, man. That secondary, they need to be clicking. We're DBU, man. We're DBU. Somebody step up and prove it. Big game against FSU. Also, special teams. Before I get out of here, special teams. That shit was bad last year. That was the worst special teams unit in the history of sports. I'm not even exaggerating. LSU special teams was absolutely dog shit last year. Can't happen. Cannot happen again. That special teams unit has to be good. We have to be a threat in the kick return, punt return game. We have to be able to make kicks. We have to be able to block. not kicking the ball off out of bounds, not punting the ball 20 yards, not missing field goals, not missing assignments. We have to be better on special teams. Special teams can lose you games, and they can win you games. Let's win some games off special teams because it was absolutely terrible last year. I don't want to see that again. Never, ever again. I'm telling you, it's the worst special teams unit I've ever seen in my life. Hopefully they got that situated. Hopefully they worked on that in the summer. Obviously, I know they have. But you got to do it on the field. You got to produce on the field, man. I'm super, super excited for this game. I'll definitely be with y'all after the game. Hey, man, LSU, it's time. Will Brian Kelly make a run this year? I guess we can talk about that before I get out of here. Schedule? Hey, schedule's never going to be easy. It's SEC. You're going to get your Bamas. You're going to get your Ole Misses. You're going to get the top teams. You're going to get your Florida, who's looking like they're having a down year, but you never know. Little rivalry game. Still can be close. It's going to be a tough schedule. SEC is going to be a tough schedule, and if you make it to the Tans, you're probably going to play Georgia. Maybe Tennessee if they get lucky, but you're probably going to play Georgia. That's going to be a very, very tough game. So it's going to be a tough season for LSU, but I do think they have a chance to make the college football playoff. I won't make a prediction because I'm biased. I'm going to say they're going to win a national championship, so it makes no sense for me to make a prediction. I'm just going to say I think they have a very, very good chance. Year 2 under Brian Kelly. Hey, year 2's been wonderful. Jay Johnson, ring. Jamalki, ring. Brian Kelly is your year 2. Hey, what you got? We bringing rings to the city. It's your turn. LSU's been on fire in athletics. Let's see what he does. You got Sha'Carri Richardson just winning the gold medal. Mondo Duplantis. Hey, it's time. LSU football. Hey, like I said, it's been a minute, man. I haven't talked about LSU in a minute. The Saints have been going crazy. Training camp, preseason, cuts, all of this. But LSU football is back. We'll have the full slate. It'll be Saints. It'll be LSU when the Pels start up. It'll be the Pels as well, man. It's all coming. It's all coming soon. Stay tuned in. September is going to be a big, big month of content from the channel. Thank y'all for tuning in once again, man. As always, it's the Boot Tragedies. And I'm out.